I started to go over this issue in Left of Left, but I'll recap. The internet took over as the main advertising platform. Soon, the major networks made their way over to the internet to try and compete for some of that internet revenue gold. But they were competing with blogs and less credible news sources. And once they started competing, people quickly realized that the content does not need to be good or even true for you to get the ad revenue. You just need someone to show up to your site. This is why we have clickbait. The Onion, for example, showed the world and anyone paying attention that you could have a well-known fake news website, but still have millions of people share its articles as if it's a real news website. And the ad revenue. Never forget the ad revenue. And they also realized that the stupider the story, the more likely people will get outraged and share it. In the not so distant past, I remember that there was a joke story about an abortion supermall. The story went viral because people thought it was real, and it went so viral that the mainstream news media covered it. And because of things like this, what is a person to do? We see it all the time. Once you see an idea that works, you take it and you run with it. So in the past few years, people have been setting up fake news websites left and right. But unlike The Onion, nowhere in the website does it even make a hint at the fact that it's a fake site, just so people share it as if it's real. And again, we're back to direct viral outrage marketing. I create content you might like, be outraged by, or just fits your narrative agenda. You share it on social media like Twitter or Facebook, or make a video about it on YouTube. When other people see it, they want to see it for themselves, then they retweet, like, or share. And the cycle begins anew. Well, I just get to roll around in the ad revenue. And of course, in an act of zero self-awareness, the mainstream media has decided to start blaming these fake news websites for Donald Trump winning the election. And I say zero self-awareness as their own websites have been practicing very similar tactics for just as long. As well as us having countless accounts of the news media just lying. I could start an entire YouTube channel around the mainstream media's lying. They lied about Trump, they lied about world events, and they lie just about everything. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are the platforms that disseminate the fake information. But the people are only mad because it didn't work in their favor this time around. But I digress. The point here is that the mainstream media is going to be up in arms about these fake news stories. And yes, it is a dangerous situation when people can't tell what's real news and what's fake. But we always have to start looking at the solution and not the problem. The solution, apparently, from Twitter for example, is just to outright start censoring and deleting accounts that don't conform to your ideology, censoring anyone that wants to spread around information that they deem to be fake news. Facebook has already assembled an unofficial task force to deal with the fake news problem. What that means is yet to be seen. But my main concern is that people will start to demand that the government get involved. That the government take it up to themselves to start censoring information that they don't deem fit for us to see. I understand that this is already happening in one way or another, with many various websites being removed from circulation to protect us from its content, the child pornography websites being one example. But when the government decides to step in and tell us what to watch and what to believe, where are we in our society? Will we allow social media to determine what we can and can't see? And the mainstream news has always been a mouthpiece of the government. And I think we all forget how much they lie to us. How much they will continue to lie to us. And how they frame stories in the most manipulative way possible. And how we let them emotionally manipulate us. But now, they're crying out. They're crying out that they're not the main source of information anymore. Trying to scare us into returning back to the teat. And never straying away again. But I say no. The only thing that the fake news sites are doing is getting people caught in a random act of gullibility. And that can only strengthen the person's critical thought process. So I say no. No more telling people what to see. No more telling people what to hear. No more deciding what we think. The world is not a safe space. The world is not fair. The world needs you to think about what you're doing, what you're reading, and what you're absorbing. So I say no, and decide your own fate.